Hi guys, we all heard the sad news that 11 people lost their lives in the stampede that happened in Bangalore. They didn't go to fight a battle, they just went to celebrate RCB's win. No one expected such a happy moment to turn into a tragedy. Today, I want to read a social media post written by someone who was actually there at Chinnaswamy Stadium, Bengaluru. A personal story from the RCB celebration. What I saw, felt, and learned. I'm not a cricket fan, but an RCB fan. And for anyone who's lived in Bengaluru, even briefly, an RCB win is not just about cricket. It's personal. Because every year, through all the memes, mockery, taunts in the office group chats, we wait, we hope. Are we really just a mad crowd? Are we jobless people with nothing better to do? Are we the ones who lack basic civic sense? Are we the kind of people who want to end up in the news? No, we are not. We reached the stadium around 1 pm. There was a confusion from the start. No one had a clear answer about the entry. Some said it was for a free and open for all, first come first serve, and others murmured that passes were being sold online. Around 2 pm, RCB officially announced that entry was only for the pass holders. But by then, the crowd was huge and the internet wasn't working. There were no proper updates, no coordination, no one to manage the crowd. We moved between gates from gate 3 to 5, 5 to 7, trying to find where people were being let in. At gate 7, there was a less crowd and we stood there. As usual, there were no police, no officials, no one to manage. By 4 pm, I looked back, we were stuck in a massive crowd. You couldn't move back, you couldn't breathe. You just need to stay there. I heard a lady scream for help. She wanted to get out. A girl next to me was crying, gasping for air. We helped her reach an open space and gave her the water little that we had. An ambulance passed by. We assumed it was for some small emergency. But later, we saw someone had collapsed right outside the same gate. Suddenly, without warning, the gates were opened. No announcement, no safety checks. We were pushed forward. It was almost a stampede. Somehow I made it inside. Scratched and bruised, but lucky. All this before the major stampede took place. We were not aware what happened behind my back. Inside the stadium, it got worse. Though the stadium has a capacity of around 30,000 people, it felt like everyone from the outside was allowed in. We had space at first, but slowly it became suffocating. I felt dizzy and my breath was getting longer and abnormal. RCB team had just entered the stadium, but I wanted to be out. Luckily, I was close to an exit and left immediately, struggling to make way to myself in a wrong direction because everyone were coming inside. But what scared me the most? I saw someone light a color flare inside the stadium. It emitted flames and thick dark smoke. There were no security checks and no one stopped them. If someone had lit even a small firecracker, it could have been triggered a stampede inside the stadium. This wasn't just a fan moment going crazy, neither jobless people who doesn't fear for life. It was just a failure of basic crowd management, failure of organizers. The police and organizers knew this crowd was coming. This is the CBD area. Roads could have been blocked. Barricades could have been set up to stop people even before coming close to stadium. But instead, it felt like security only existed to protect VIPs, not the people. Only to allow zero traffic for the VIP moment. So yes, maybe you saw some fans losing control, but that's not the whole story. You didn't see the panic, the helplessness, the people who fainted, the fans who stood in line from 3 to 4 hours. It wasn't just a tragedy waiting to happen. It was a disaster created by the poor planning and complete failure by the organizers. Yes, I agree. Maybe we shouldn't go to such events. But tell me, do you really stop yourself from going to something you love? Do you anticipate a disaster every time you step out to celebrate something close to your heart? You don't. Because you expect it to be safe. You expect the organizers and authorities do their job. You trust that basic systems will be in place. Crowd control, security, emergency support, etc. Sometimes it's not the madness of the crowd. It's the silence of those in charge that puts lives at risk. This wasn't about fans losing control. This was about those in charge losing responsibility. Lessons I learned the hard way and you need to read through. Avoid events that feel rushed or poorly organized. Always carry a water bottle with you. If you are plus size, be extra cautious in densely packed places. I'm not body shaming here. Crowded areas with no space to move can become physically overwhelming. If you are an asthma patient, carry your inhaler always. If you are prone to dizziness or motion sickness, please avoid. Never take kids to unregulated mass gatherings. I cannot stress this enough. One panic moment and it's chaos. It's not worth the risk. Stay close to edges or exits in large gatherings. Don't blindly follow the crowd. Call out poor organization, don't normalize it. We often blame the crowd, but silence enables us repeated failure. If something was wrong, just say it out. I probably would have blamed the crowd if I was not one among them. This is what I saw, what I experienced, what I felt. And once I heard about the tragedy, everything I had just lived through came rushing back. The crowd, the chaos, the helplessness. It all flashed before my eyes. A chill ran down my spine because I realized it could have been me. It could have been anyone. Today it happened with RCB fans. Tomorrow it could happen with CSK fans, SRH fans, or any other IPL team supporters. But please remember, it's just a game. It's not worth risking your life for. For organizers and franchises, and those sitting in the VIP boxes, the crowd might just be a number. But for the families who lost someone, each person was a world, a voice, a future. Let this be a wake-up call. Don't risk your life for celebration. Be safe and stay alert. And don't make your family suffer for something that could have been avoided.